Devin Jatho has built over 400,000 followers on Instagram with one editing style. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I recreated this edit in DaVinci Resolve. Check out the final result.
The days of paying for transcription services like OpenAI's Whisper are over. NVIDIA just released Parakeet TDT, a completely free speech recognition model that transcribes an hour of audio in just 1 second. It works with any audio file, automatically adds punctuation and timestamps, and even handles background noise better than paid options, all while being completely free to use commercially. Ready to save money on transcriptions? Comment speech and I'll send you the simple setup guide.
Alright, before we start, comment sound if you want me to cover the sound design I did for this edit. Now I'm going to start by showing you how I came up with the ideas for this edit. So I'm just going to briefly walk you through how I did this storyboarding or how I came up with these ideas. This is the entire script of the video. You can see here speaker that I generated a script of a video. Now the most interesting part is the hook, which it says the days of paying for transcription services like OpenAI Whisper are over. So what they usually do is they take this hook and condense it into 4 or 5 words that will catch your attention. Now check this out. You will say stop killing your edits. You can see here, never send your portfolio in a Google Drive. I came to my hook, the days of paying for transcription services like OpenAI Whisper are over. Instead of generating or writing this all down, I condensed it down into stop paying for transcription service. You could still say never pay for transcription services. That will still work. He made mention of ChatGPT. I was going to use a ChatGPT logo here, same thing as this one, and make it break when he says never. So if you scroll down, this is the color I got from the background, and this one is the color I got from this side of his face. I was going to use that maybe for the text animation or what, but now I wanted a particular section where I would animate the Google search. So I decided, because if you look at his edit, you look at this one and you look at this one, these are two different videos, but he used the same kind of animation. Here you can see, here is a Google search, here is a Google search. So I went to Google and did the search for the NVIDIA release of this transcription service. This is what it gave me. I took several screenshots, and as you will see, we will use them in our animation. So if you come down here, you will see here, this is the CTA, this one and this one. If you comment this one, you reply this one. So this is the animation he does for the CTA. Now coming down here, you see an expression. If you look at the edit, you will see that I made it count up to 1 second when he was talking about taking 1 second to make this transcription. I use this script instead of keyframing it from a counter. I decided to use an expression. You see how that works. Now these are other screenshots I took from his editor's page. You can see here all of them. So that was what I did, and let's go back into DaVinci Resolve. Now in DaVinci Resolve, we are going to create a new timeline. You can hit Ctrl N on your keyboard and you can name that maybe tutorial. Okay, and uncheck project settings, go to format, use vertical resolution, and you can change this to 30 frames per second because the video is in 30 frames per second, and you can create that. Now we have a new timeline. Drag and drop this into my timeline, and I'm going to mute this like so we don't keep listening to it. I'm just gonna bring this down a little bit, and as you know, if you have watched my video before, I was like, first thing I want to do is generate the text. So go to titles, get a text plot, and bring it to your timeline. This my thing is too big. I'm just going to create so many video layers. Like I'm just going to move this up again, and that will be fine for me. I can bring this all down. Now let's customize this text. I'm going to change the font to Tactics. That's the font he's always using. This one is fine. I'm going to bump up the size to something like this. I want it around here. Now go to shading, you go to element 3, that is the black shadow, and enable the black shadow. Now you see it coming together a little bit. Reduce the opacity of the shadow to something like, it's fine, just reduce the opacity a little bit, and I think that is fine. You can also come down here to this one. If you want to use a gradient color, maybe yes, choose a gradient color, and then you come down here and change it, but I'm just going to leave it at white. So just use a solid color. Later we can add glow and everything to the text. Now what you need to do next is drag and drop this into your media pool. Now you can delete this one from here. Let's go to workspace, script, auto subs. It is a free plugin. Come to this color icon here, click that, make sure text plus is selected and it's under regular. You can hit save. select the audio track you have it on and make sure it's English, and the model should be this whisper tiny because it's the fastest, so that it won't take a lot of time. Now you have to be custom maximum character. Let's leave it at 8, 1 uppercase, and this one I think is fine. Let's just hit generate, and you can wait for a moment. It's going to export the file and then bring it back into DaVinci Resolve. All right, the generation has been completed. You can go through this one and make sure that everything is spelled correctly, and you can hit add to timeline. Now scroll down and make sure you add it to the last timeline, so that you have enough space to add other layers. Let's hit next, and it's text plus here, add to timeline. Good, it has done its job, and we have that. You can just come back here and make sure that we play it back. If you see, this is it, everything is in place. I'm just gonna, maybe I'm going to hold down alt on any of these text node here, hold down alt and bring it down, bring it somewhere around here, and you can disable this one so that it don't get in our way. So you have here transcription, duplicate this one like so, and mute this one, or delete this one. And the first thing I wrote there was stop paying, so I'm just going to write stop paying for. Good, this is what I want. I'm going to reduce the size again to something like this. I think it's good. And now I can open this one in the Fusion page to do some further customization. Now in the Fusion page, I have this. Let me bring this up so that I can see what I'm doing. Yes, it's at 50%, and I'm going to move this here, just spread it a little bit more. Now come to this one, go to shading. We're going to use a gradient. Now it's going to appear like this, but for this one it's on a word by word basis. So come down here and change it to line. We want it to be for a line. You can use this mapping to change how the gradient appears on the text. Now I can come to this one. I'm going to select this. I'm going to change it to a red color here, and then come to this other part, and I'm going to change it to maybe a more, yeah, this one is too dark, so let's bring it up here, and I think that this is fine. So after that, I'm going to go to effects. If you don't have this plugin, link in the description. I'm going to add a new glow to it. It's just going to add a little bit of glow here. Before that, I'm going to add a new light sweep pro to it. Now you see that it's up here. You can just come to the light sweep and bring the center X and Y down like this. Then you can reduce it to something around here. If you're fine with this one, what we can do is maybe I can shift this to the side like so, maybe around here. I'm okay with this one. I'm just gonna duplicate this, Control C and click again, Control V, so that I paste it here. Now we have two of them. Just move the second one to the side, I think somewhere around here. If you don't like the shadow as it's appearing there, we can go back to this one as a third one and reduce the shadow just a little bit. Now let's go back to the edit page and see how that looks. Yeah, I think something like this is really fine, or we can go back again. Let me add this one. All right, good. I've changed the font to this one, and I think this one looks a little bit better. So let's just increase the size a little bit too. I think this is good. Let's enable this video clip so that we have it here, and we have to write here transcription services. Bring down the size and go to layout. You can bring it down to somewhere around here. Let's make sure that we look for a better font. Feel free to change this to whatever you want. Yeah, I'm going to change this to this one. Go back into the Fusion page, and we're going to go to templates, and I'm just going to select this and add a new glow to it. Now you see that the glow is too much. I'm just going to reduce it to about 0.8. Now let's go to the timeline and see how that looks. This looks good to me. That's our first step is done. Next thing I want to do is add the OpenAI logo. So come to effects, get an adjustment clip. I'm going to use an adjustment clip for that one, and open the adjustment clip in the Fusion page. So open this one up 100%. No, it's too much. Let's use 50, and I'm going to take it up like this. Get a background node, get a rectangle mask like this, connect this one here, and bring this one to this side. Now in the background node, make the white color like this, and yes, so you can connect this one here. Good. Now I'm going to reduce the width and reduce the height of this background node. I'm gonna bring it down here like so. Let me just customize it and you can copy my settings. I think this is fine. I'm going to disconnect this one from here, move it up, get a background node here, connect this one to this one, and add this one to this one. Make sure it takes the foreground input like this. Yes. And then from there, I think I can add a drop shadow to that one. Yes. And you can reduce the blur, reduce the strength. Just play with this till it fits what you want to do, and then go to my media pool, drag and drop the ChatGPT logo here, connect it to somewhere around here and bring it down here to this one. I'm going to leave the color at black as it is, and I'm going to size it down using this merge node. Let's just feed it to somewhere around here. Make sure you position it there, and then we can add a transform node. With this transform node, we can move everything, or we can use this merge node. It doesn't really matter. Now I'm going to go back to my media pool and check where I want it to change the color so that we can start animating this one. I'm going to find. So this is where I want to make the color to change. I'm going to add a marker here. When I add this marker here, I can then go back to the Fusion page and I will see that marker. If I open up my spline tab, you can see it here. So I'm going to come here in this background node. I'm going to keyframe this one and maybe go some few frames forward, or maybe something like a frame 117, 118. I'm going to change that to a red color. Let's change that to red, or a bright red, something like that is fine. Now I can close that. So this is changing this color like this will help me to customize it a little bit further. So I'm going to select all of these, move it up, go to my effects, open this up, let's select this one, add a new light sweep pro here. Now you see it at this edge, so I'm just going to make sure it appears here, duplicate it again and make sure it appears here. So let me just quickly do that. So this is what I've got. You can just play with the light sweep however you want. Now you can just leave it, or you duplicate it and move it to this side so that it can appear here also. But I'm not going to do that. You can do that on your own. Now we are going to have to make this thing break. So let's get a polygon mask here. You can connect the polygon mask to this one so that you can be accurate. Come here, click like this. It won't be accurate for now, but let's just click something like this. I think will be fine. Or yeah, something like this I think is fine. Let's just go with this one, and I'm going to duplicate all of these, hit Control C on my keyboard, paste it here, Control V. Now come to this side, I can connect it here, bring this one to this side. Let's make it even better by adding a background node here, connecting the background node here, add this one to the background input. Yes, we still have the same thing. Let's bring it here, and this one here. Now all we need to do is come to this rectangle and invert it like so. I think that is not in the middle, so let's come to this rectangle, this one, and just move the center X and Y to this side like so, and then copy this one, Control C, delete this one, Control V, connect it back here, invert it. Now you can come here and remove this animation. Remove this animation 2 from here. Now what you need to do next is select this one, add a transform node. When you add a transform node, make sure you bring down the pivot point to somewhere around here where the mouse is going to click. Copy the transform node, Control C, and bring it here, Control V. So we have that somewhere around here. So let's go to where the color starts changing to, it's okay, somewhere around here. It starts around here. So somewhere around, let's just do frame 1010. You can be more accurate with that. I'm going to hit the keyframe at the angle at the angle here, and hit the keyframe at the center X and Y. Now go, like, let's say changes the color around here. Let's go 10 frames forward. We are going to we might rotate it like this and take it to this side. Then do the same thing for this one. Come to this side, we're going to keyframe it here. Then go back to this one, we can keyframe it here, go here, and we're going to rotate it like so. Take it to this side. Now let's just select this one, hold down control, select this one, go to the spline editor, select all of that. Now I'm just going to select all of these and ease out cubic. By the way, in order for me to make this thing run a little bit smooth, I'm going to come here and disable this one for now. Yeah, so that we have a smooth playback. But make sure that when you want to render, you turn it back on. Now come to this one. It's at this frame, so I'm going to come to somewhere around frame 100. Go to my media port, get this mouse from here. I can just connect the mouse somewhere around here, bring this one here, move this mouse up, make sure I select the mouse, add a transform node, and I'm going to size that down. Now before I size that down, I'm going to move the pivot point of the mouse to this to the tip, and then we can size it down from there. You see, so that it's going to, so that we can simulate the click from here. Now come to maybe around this frame. Let's use this match node so that we can keyframe the blend and the movement. So I'm going to keyframe the blend value here, and we might just take it out of the screen like somewhere around here. Keyframe the blend, keyframe the center X and Y, select this one, make sure it's here, come back here, and make sure we bring it back somewhere around here. Make sure you bring it to the center so that I can do the click. Let's give it some like yes, okay. And a frame, we're going to keyframe it again here and come back to somewhere around frame 25. We're going to bring it down like so and move it out of the screen, and we're going to keyframe the blend value. Now let's go maybe to around frame 120. Yes, keyframe the blend value again. Go to the last one, we're going to take it down to 0. Come to the first one, which is here, take it down to 0. Go maybe to frame somewhere around here, go maybe to frame 108, take it all the way up to 1. Now you have something like yes, so you have something like this. And then I can come to this one, select this one, make sure I click on this one, make sure you select this arm, right click, ease out cubic, select this arm again, right click, out cubic. Now if you play that from here, okay, now when it gets here, before it gets here, somewhere around frame 108, I'm going to come to this one, make sure I keyframe the size, go to here, yes, keyframe the size again, then go to this one here, keyframe the size. Now in this middle one, I'm just going to reduce the size again further so that it does something like a click. You can leave the keyframes as they are, or you go to spline, select all of them. I think that will be, and then it goes back to its normal thing. So let's go back to the edit page and see what we have done so far. So the next thing is going to start from with this where he says NVIDIA just. So I'm just going to bring this back here, make sure I select both of these, and I'm going to bring it to somewhere around here. You can follow the time from here, so make sure select this, bring it, good. So now to go back to this one, and here let's come to somewhere around frame 30. We're gonna hit the keyframe at the center X and Y, hit the keyframe here, go to maybe around frame 55, hit the keyframe, come to frame 45, hit a keyframe for this one, and then we can go back here, take it down like so, and the blend down to 0. Now go to spline, select all. Now we can go back to this one, and I think this should work now. Of course, we can't finish this up without adding a zoom in at the beginning. So let's go to effect again, drag and drop an adjustment clip here, move it to the side, and I'm just going to reduce it like this. Make sure I select this one and open the fusion page, select the adjustment clip, add a transform node, add frame, let's make it 1 second. So I'm going to add frame 30, keyframe the size, and go back, and we can zoom it in like so. Go to spline, select all, hit S, and you can move this to this side like this, something like this. Go to the settings and turn on motion blur. You can increase the shutter angle if you want, and let's go back. So if you play what you have done so far, this is what you end up with. Good. So now if you don't want it here, you can bring it a little bit earlier, but this is what I've got. Let me zoom in like this, and then I'm going to maybe select this one and bring it one frame forward again. So I spent a little bit of time here. Now we're going to get another fusion composition here and close this gap here. Now let's come here and open this fusion composition in the fusion page. Now here we are going to build the Google search scene. I'm just going to connect this one here, get a background node here, and now go to my media pool and bring in the screenshots that we are going to use here. This one, this is second one. Here I have all the screenshots, so let me just take a look at one of them here. This is it. Now let's go to this background here. I'm going to change this from solid color to gradient, and then from linear to radial. Now change this to 0.5 so that it appears at the center, and then for the center color, which is this black color here, I'm going to use this color picker here and pick this color here. Now do the same thing for this one and pick this color here, but for the center one I want it to be a little bit brighter, so I'm going to move it to the closer to the white side like so. We can then pull this thing something like so. I think that one is fine, and we are done with the background. Now after that, get a text node, get a background node, and connect this text node to this background node here like so. You can write Google. Let's make sure we're looking at it from here. I'm just gonna increase that. I'm going to go through my fonts. I think I used a font, so this is the font I've used, and it's at bold. You can increase the size now. Now just bring this back down so that we can see the framing of it. I'm just gonna lift this one up like this. I'm just gonna lift this one up like this. Now in order for us not to waste a lot of time, I can shift this one, I can move this to the side, get a rectangle mask, get a background node. I'm going to connect this one here, and this one I can connect it here. In this background node, I'm going to change the color to black, but I'm going to move it like something around here. So now with this one I can then make sure I bring it and bring up the corner radius to something like so. So let's move this up. I want to build it on its own. Let's connect this one here and this one here. Now in this one I'm going to go to my media pool. By the way, I could just go to here to the other project that I made it. So this is what I've added, this Google search, and then I've added all of these things here. This is the Google text. Make sure it's separate so that you can select this one, add a transform node here, and then this transform node can move this one separately on its own. And then I'm going to get a text node. In this text, I'm going to connect this text node here, and I'm going to write the search or paste the search that I did, which is NVIDIA Parakit TDT search. So that's the search that I did, and I'm going to just make sure I look at it from here. You see that it's too big. I'm going to reduce the size, and maybe I can change the font to something. I'm going to use this font. Now bring it to this side, make sure that it's in the middle, and I think that this is already okay for us. Here I want to let's just animate this once and for all. So come to this one, I want it to start at frame 0. So come here, keyframe the center X and Y, and take it down a little bit. Now make sure that this text is included. So I'm just going to make sure that I bring this one to this side like this. Disconnect this one from here, connect this one, connect it here so that the text is included, and then I can then come back to this transform node, but make sure the Google text is not included. Hit a keyframe for the center X and Y, go to frame 10 and hit another keyframe. Now go back to this one, take it down, and you can take it down to somewhere around here. Go to spline, zoom to fit this one, select all, and you can ease out back cubic. Now if you expand this, let me bring this up, you can bring it down so that the bounce is not dramatic. You can add another bounce there if you want, and I think that that's okay. So by the time it's already getting here, I think maybe around frame 6, I'm going to come to this text, come to right on, I'm going to hit a keyframe at frame 6 and maybe frame 20. Yes, you can still make sure that this thing is all synced, and I'm going to bring it down to 0. Go to spline, Control A, and you can hit S. Let's play that and see. Good. I open this up. Good. Good. I'm going to bring this one down here like so, and I'm going to get a transform node here, add this one here, and connect this one here. Add a transform node here, and this one I can then bring up this one to something. Yes, not too far up, but I'm going to leave it somewhere around here. I think it's fine here. Now come and get all these screenshots from here like so. So this is the first one. I'm going to get a background node for this first one, connect this one here, and make sure that I connect this one, and make sure that I connect this one here. Something here, this transform node, I can use it to bring it down like so, and now I can size it down to something like this. Now this is fine. Let me just go ahead and paste all of them and fix all of them. You can use this same transform node, but let me just fit this one here. Yes, this one is the second one, third one. Make sure add a transform node here and the same size here because the same screenshot. I'm going to reduce this to 0.9 and come here, use 0.9 here, transform node 0.9. Good. So now we can then just make sure that this one, we move it down here. Let's move this one first. Let me bring this back up to fit. Come to this one. I think I like this one, but we have a problem. If you look at my edit, I was able to animate this one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shift this one up like so. I'm going to shift this one up here. Now here, I'm going to bring a polygon mask here. Now in this polygon mask, I can click here, click here, click here. While holding down shift, I can click somewhere around here. Hold down shift. Make sure you keep holding down shift. Click here and close it here. If I connect this here, you see I have been able to isolate this one. Now this is the part that I don't want, so I'm just going to make sure I come to this one and hit invert. I want the same background here. I can get a background node here, get a rectangle mask here, connect this here and this one here. Now in this background, pick this color from here and connect it here so I have the same background. Now let me bring this layout like so, somewhere around here. I can open the width and the height. Now all we have to do is make sure that we replace this text that we have removed, and in order for us to do that, I have to come here, Control C, and paste this one here, Control V. So I'm going to get a text node and I'm going to try to build it here. Now connect the text node to this one. Make sure you're looking at this one from here. In this text node, I'm going to write a family of. Change the font to this one, and you can use maybe the regular version. Now bring the center to this point, to somewhere around here, and reduce the size. You can bring down the tracking and move the center X and Y. Now you can just disconnect this one from here and connect this one here. You have the same thing, it appears here. Let's do the next one. Now copy this text, Control C, paste it here, Control V, connect it again. In this one, I'm going to make sure I write this one and do the same thing. I've already positioned the text here. Now come here, right click and choose character level styling. You can make sure that if you look at it from here, select from automatic up to this point and change it to a bold variant. We can then go back to this one. Let's go here. Now I think that this is better. I'm just going to disconnect this one from here. Make sure I make some space here because we're still going to need it, and connect this one like this. And now if we come down here and make sure we take a look at this from here, we have it the same way. Check this out. If we come here, I'm going to open this up like this, get a background node here, get a polygon mask here, connect this one here and this one here. Now we can change the background color by choosing this color here, something like this. Yes, come to this one, maybe zoom in again, zoom into about 100. Good. I'm going to come here, click here, hold down shift and click somewhere around here. Uncheck this animation, uncheck solid, and you can increase it like that. If you notice the corners are rounded, we don't want that, so select this one and increase it again. Maybe take up the center X and Y like so, and we can increase it a little bit more. Come to the merge node and change the apply mode to screen. You have the same thing. What you need to do is make sure that you come to somewhere around, and let's connect this one so that we have our final result here. Fit. Good. This is what we want. This is the transform node that is going to control everything, and this is the one. Make sure that you come to where the text, this text animation kind of ends. Maybe it ends around frame, yes, frame 19. Make sure you come to that frame 19 and keyframe this one here. Now go to somewhere around frame 50 or frame 50 or frame 60. Just I'm going to leave my reference video down in the description, and you can click here. Now go back to this one and change this value to 0.5. Yes, so it's going to appear like this. Now go to spline, select all of these, hit Ctrl A, S, and is our cubic. Good. Now what you need to do next is, good, you see how it appears, it goes up like this, showing all of this animation. All you have to do next is come to this. You can either choose to keyframe the blend value and the center X and Y, or you can choose to keyframe only the center X and Y. Let me show you what I'm saying. Now come here, keyframe the center X and Y, maybe somewhere around where the merge node starts moving around here. Frame, okay, frame 19. Come to about frame 20. Come to this one, keyframe the center X and Y, then keyframe the blend value. Come to frame 30, that's a 10 frames difference. Keyframe it again, this one. Now come back here, take it down a little bit like this, take it down to 0. Now come to frame 25, do that for this one, the same thing, keyframe here, then frames forward, keyframe, back down, 0. Select both of these, spline, Ctrl A, and we have that. Yes, and that is it. Now let me zoom in and show you if where he starts explaining what the thing is saying. Yes, somewhere around frame 45. You can then let's come, let me zoom into this one like 5. Yes, now we're going to come into this one, we're going to keyframe it, let's say frame 40. Let's hit a keyframe at the length, go to maybe frame 50, hit a keyframe, go back and take the length down to 0. Now you can leave that one, and then I'm just going to maybe come to this side, duplicate this one, Ctrl C, paste it here, Ctrl V. I'm just going to make sure that I hold down shift and connect this one. Make sure it's connected. Good. Now all I need to do is come to this one, and I'm going to bring it down. I'm going to bring the center X and Y and bring it to this side. Yes, make sure it starts where the word fast starts. Okay, now I can hold this point here and drag it to the left while holding down shift. Good. Yes, now let's say I go to maybe frame, yes, frame 50, and I'm going to select this one, go to the keyframes tab, open this up, take it to frame 50, and then the second arm, which is this one, I can move it to maybe frame 70, so that we have something like this. Good. Let me go back to my edit page and check out where I need to stop this animation. You need to end somewhere around here. So you can check out the time from here. So let's go back with this one in the fusion page. So this one, our animation is too fast. I'm just gonna select this one so that you give the viewer a little bit of time to be able to process or read the information if they want to. Now let's just open this one. Let's open this one and bring it to frame 70. Now I'm going to select the first one, which is this one. Yes. Make sure it ends around here. Yes. And then this second one, I'm going to take it to somewhere around here, frame 30. And then for the out transition, I'm going to come back here, add a transform node. Now come to somewhere around, after this, all of this is done, I'm going to come here, add a transform node, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to keyframe. You can either move it out or you keyframe the zoom, it depends on you. So let's keyframe the size and come to the last one here, and let's zoom out like this. Yes, I think this one is okay. Let's select all, control A, S, and I'm going to do something like this so that I start slow and end fast. Now I'm going to go to this one, make sure I open this up. I always like that before it ends. Good. Let it cut while there is still movement. I'm going to go back to the edit page. Good. So now let's go back here. In order to stylize this, I'm going to go to effects, templates. Let's add neo glow to this one. Yeah, it's going to glow everything. He likes to use glow a lot, so I'm going to reduce this one to maybe about 0.7. No, 0.07. That was too much. 0.07. Yes. On we could add it to this one, or we could instead add it to this text so that it glows it a little bit and the viewer focuses on that, because that's what he's saying, what is in this text. So now after that, let's bring it down. Let's bring it down again to like 4. Yes. And then let's add shift space vignette. I'm going to add a vignette to that one so that it focuses on the center. And I think this default value works, but I'm going to disable this one for now. You can enable it when you're rendering. Now let's come back here. You can play it and check out what you have done. Okay, the next part I'm going to show you how I did it is where he says in just 1 second. I decided to make a count up animation to 1 second. What I'm going to do is I will still come here. I can get this text, hold down Alt, duplicate it here, bring it somewhere around here. Make sure it starts around here. So this is my text clip. I'm going to change this just for you to see is 00, and I'm going to change this to 00. Good. So I'm going to first of all increase this font, yes, to like this, and I don't want to start using a counter for this one. So what I'm going to do is right click here, hit expression. Now go back to my storyboard and I'm going to copy this one. Make sure I copy this one, Control C, go back to DaVinci Resolve. Make sure I delete all of these, and then I'm going to paste the expression here. Yes. Now if you look at it, if I play it now,
in just 1 second.
yes,
In just 1 second.
so that by the time he's saying
1 second.
by the time he's saying 1 second, we already have it at 1 second. Now come here and hit the keyframe here. Now go to
1
and come here and you can change the color to a green color. Can't quite remember what the green color was here, but this one works very fine. So now what you need to do next is just come to effects, go to effects, so you can scroll down and I'm going to add a new glow to this one. So let's just come to where effect is and reduce it down to somewhere around here. And you can even keyframe the glow, maybe from here, keyframe it, keyframe the intensity, and increase the intensity when it gets here. It depends on you, and then you can reduce it again when it gets here. So it depends on you. And with that, I think if you have followed this tutorial up to this moment, you can be able to do the other parts without having any problem. By the way, all you need to do is maybe come here, enable this one, and we delete all of these. So make sure that you delete all of these, delete these. You can come closer here and maybe up. Now if you have watched this tutorial up to this moment, you can be able to go use the knowledge that I've shared with you and you complete the edit. I'm going to leave you with my reference so that you can go ahead and do the rest of the part. By the way, if you want me to do the sound design or if you want me to complete the tutorial, let me know down in the comment section. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.